Some stories live in the shadows, passed down in whispers, protected for generations.
Others claw their way into the light and demand we listen.
I'm Maya,
And I'm Daniel.
and this
Is Dark Water Media.
Welcome to Dark Water Media, where the old stories never really die. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Maya. Today we're going somewhere cold, somewhere hungry, deep into the boreal forests to talk about the Wendigo.
Yeah, this one gets under your skin. Because the Wendigo isn't just some monster lurking in the woods. It's what happens when we break, when we cross lines we can't uncross.
The Algonquian peoples, the Ojibwe, the Cree, they've carried this story for centuries, maybe longer. And Daniel's right. It's not really about the monster. It's about what creates the monster.
Picture this. You're trapped in a winter that won't end. Snow so deep it swallows trees, cold that cracks your bones. And the food. The food ran out weeks ago. In that world, the Wendigo wasn't just folklore. It was a warning system, a spiritual guardrail against the worst parts of human nature.
Because when people get desperate enough, when they get hungry enough, they do things that change them forever.
Among the Ojibwe, the Wendigo represents imbalance. It's what happens when someone becomes consumed by greed, by selfishness, but especially by breaking the ultimate taboo.
Cannibalism.
That's the line right there. Cross it, and you don't come back. You become something else, something that's always hungry.
The Cree tell it differently, but it's the same warning. They focus on the psychological breakdown, the dreams that start coming, the way isolation eats at your spirit until there's nothing left but need.
And here's where it gets really dark. In some communities, shamans didn't just talk about Wendigos. They dealt with them directly.
Jack Fiddler, 1907. A Cree shaman who claimed he'd killed 14 Wendigos over his lifetime. 14 people he believed were transforming. The Canadian authorities arrested him for murder.
But in his world, he was protecting his people. That's how real this was to them.
So, what does it look like? Accounts vary, but 12 feet tall, skeletal, skin like old leather stretched too tight, eyes that glow, or sometimes just holes.
Some say it has antlers, others say it moves like wind through snow. But here's what really gets me. Sometimes it doesn't look like a monster at all. Sometimes it looks like your neighbor, your friend, someone you trust.
That brings us to something called Wendigo psychosis. Historical cases of people, mostly Indigenous, who believed they were becoming Wendigos. Some acted on it.
Now, modern researchers debate whether this was a real psychological condition or just, colonial authorities misunderstanding or exaggerating Indigenous beliefs. But either way, it shows how deep this legend cuts.
The Ojibwe developed whole systems around prevention, vision quests, spiritual cleansing, calling on guardian spirits. The idea was to stay balanced, stay connected to your community.
The Cree trusted their dreams, warnings from the spirit world, and when someone crossed the line, well, they didn't hesitate to act.
Both traditions agree on one thing. The Wendigo represents a hunger that can't be satisfied. Not for food, for power, for more. Always more.
And here's the thing that keeps me up at night. The Wendigo grows with every bite. The more it consumes, the hungrier it gets. It's never enough.
You know what's terrifying? I don't think the Wendigo ever left. Look around. The endless consumption, the way we devour resources, communities, each other, the hunger that's never satisfied.
Damn, Maya. That's more frightening than any monster story.
The Wendigo isn't just a creature from the past. It's a mirror. It shows us what we become when we forget how to share, how to sacrifice for each other, how to say, enough.
So the next time you're alone in the woods and you hear something calling your name, don't answer. And if someone you know starts looking at you like they're hungry, maybe it's time to pay attention.
Because the Wendigo isn't just out there in the darkness, it's in here, in all of us, waiting.
Thanks for listening to Dark Water Media. We'll be back next week with another story that refuses to stay buried.
Until then, stay warm, stay connected, and remember, we're all just a few missed meals away from finding out who we really are.
Sweet dreams, everyone.